Hi there, welcome to Max Talks. I'm Max, and in this video we're going to delve a little bit away from cars and motorsport, and I want to actually talk about the life of the motorist. You see, in the UK in particular, one of the big problems that UK motorists have is the quality of our road network, specifically around potholes, which is a big problem for a lot of us. In fact, it's such a big problem that we have a reputation Europe-wide that our roads are so bad that manufacturers have to tune their suspensions differently for the UK market because of it. So, and I think certainly for a lot of people, more recently they'll have noticed that the roads are just getting worse and worse and worse, and it doesn't seem to be that anything's being done about them. So the other day I was actually reading various articles looking for what kind of video I wanted to make, and I came across this, which was from the National Audit Office, which was an independent inquiry into how funding is actually allocated for the road network and how it can affect how it's being used, really. So it was an interesting thing. I've actually got the summary here of what was actually said in the very, very long article. I'll link it down below if you want to have some bedtime reading. But yeah, I've got a sort of like a brief summary of what it was. So basically it said that local roads in England play a crucial role in everyday travel and movement of goods. These roads constitute 98% of the total road network and include 183,000 miles of roads, along with pavements, embankments, bridges and drainage systems. The National Audit Office has scrutinised the condition and maintenance of these roads, highlighting both the importance of well-maintained infrastructure and the challenges faced in maintaining them. So the funding for this, so the Department for Transport provided £1.1 billion in capital funding for local roads and maintenance in 2022 and 2013, with local authorities spending a total of £2.1 billion. The additional billion coming from other government funds and local sources. The Department for Transport announced an additional £8.3 billion of capital funding for the road maintenance between late 2023 and March 2034. However, only 300 million of that has been allocated so far. Current road conditions, a significant portion of the road network is in a poor state. In 2023-24, only 48% of roads were in good structural condition, 35% were in adequate condition, and 17% were in poor condition. This is based on a long-running survey by the Asphalt Industry Alliance, or AIA. Not all the people who appear on the Tottenham Hotspur shows, are they? So approximately 1.9 million potholes were filled in 23-24, the highest number since 2015-2016. So obviously there is stuff going on. They're obviously trying to tackle the problem, but it doesn't specify if more potholes are being found and actually what the percentages reflect on that. Now there's also talks of gaps in the data collection, which they go through. There are substantial gaps in the Department for Transport's data on local road conditions. Around 1/5 of local authorities did not share data on the condition of their A roads in 2013. Now usually if you're not sharing that kind of data, it's because there's some bad news there that you don't want getting out. There is no mandatory reporting for unclassified roads, which make up 62% of the network. Nevertheless, around 70% of local authorities provided this data in 2023. So that's quite a large number of local authorities not doing that. Department for Transport does not collect data on footways, cycleways or bridge conditions, although an industry survey found that 4% of bridges maintained by local authorities were in a substandard condition. So that's quite a worry there. So obviously, impact of short-term funding. Unlike the strategic road network, which receives funding in 5-year periods, local road maintenance funding has been short-term and provided through multiple funds. This reduces the funding certainty and inhibits long-term cost-effective maintenance planning. So basically what it's saying is councils don't want to really commit to large investment infrastructure projects, because they don't even know if the money's going to be there. It seems to be what they're saying with that one. The Department for Transport is responsible for policy, guidance and funding allocation for local road maintenance. It supports local authorities who manage the road networks under their control. However, the report highlights that the Department of Transport needs to improve data collection and utilisation, so enhance its understanding of road conditions by collecting comprehensive and consistent data from local authorities, utilise data on road conditions and traffic volumes to better inform funding allocation, evaluate funding effectiveness, conduct evaluations to understand the impact of its funding on road conditions and ensure that funding is being used efficiently. Increase the certainty of funding for local authorities to facilitate better planning and maintenance practices. It also asks them to provide better support and guidance, offer more robust guidance and support to local authorities in adopting best practices for road maintenance, and encourage the use of modern data collection technologies and approaches among local authorities. It then concludes that the condition and maintenance of local roads in England are critical for safety, economic activity and the overall well-being of communities. Hear, hear. While significant funding is allocated for road maintenance, there are clear challenges in terms of data collection, funding allocation and long-term planning. Addressing these issues will require concerted efforts from both the Department for Transport and local authorities to ensure that the local road network is safe, reliable and well maintained. So my take on that is basically the money is there to do the work to improve our road network. It just sounds like it's all a bit disjointed. Councils don't know if they've actually got the money to spend in the first place. And so really what I'm hoping that while this report is quite damning in the sense of that our roads are not really being looked after, what I would like to think is going to happen is that the government are going to take a look at this report and go, right, okay, these are the areas we're falling behind on and these are the ways that we can fix those problems. And I think, you know, for a lot of people, seeing, you know, potholes being filled in, I've literally seen it before. People literally being cheering people filling potholes because it's that big of a deal for people. And I can imagine, you know, you have a blowout, you have a wheel busted and you've got to go through all the pain and rigmarole of, you know, car going into the workshop, having that repaired, having to maybe fork out but then claim it back, and those wheels are not cheap. They run into hundreds of pounds, and if you drive something you know, the remotely high performance, you know, you could be looking at £250 a tyre, and then you're probably looking at, I don't know, £250, £300, £400, £500 an alloy. So it's a lot of money if you do go through that problem. Even if you are claiming it back, it's a lot of money to outlay in the first place. So I can imagine it's incredibly frustrating if you go through that and it's all because the job just hasn't been done correctly. Even more frustrating if you knew the money's there to do it, but the council just don't have the confidence to spend it because they're worried they're not going to get it back. So I'm really hoping that this is going to encourage the local authorities and the government to sort of step it up and sort out this problem. And hopefully then we'll have silky smooth roads like the Spanish do. Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think? Why don't you let me know down in the comments below. Have you had any experiences of potholes ruining your car, or do you have one of these unclaimed roads, and do you find that over time they're just becoming harder and harder to get down to the point where you think, yeah, I need a pickup truck just to be able to get down to the bottom of my driveway? Yeah, so let me know down in the comments below. And of course, if you like content such as this and you want to see more topics around the conversation around the motorist, more so than just cars and racing and everything else that entails, then be sure to click like and then also click subscribe so you get and also click the bell so you get notified when I load up new content. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I'm Max, this is Max Talks, and I will see you on the next one.